The Raiders have done it again. Every single week, they somehow manage to invent a brand new way to lose, and just when you think it can't get any worse, it does. It's as if the franchise has mastered the art of self-destruction. Week 5's embarrassment against the Colts was a low point even by Raiders standards. A humiliating 6-40 blowout that left fans shaking their heads. When you go back and study the film, the mistakes are so egregious that it's almost hard to believe professional athletes and coaches could be responsible for them. There's no leadership, no accountability, and no real plan. Just chaos disguised as football. The problem starts at the top. Head coach Pete Carroll, once a symbol of energy and competitive culture, now seems more like a relic clinging to a system that stopped working years ago. He doesn't know his players, doesn't trust his coordinators, and seems lost in the fog of his own outdated philosophies. Then there's Gino Smith, a quarterback whose performance has plummeted from average to abysmal. Once expected to bring poise and precision to the offense, he now looks like he's playing blindfolded, making poor reads, careless throws, and questionable decisions that leave fans wondering how much worse it can get. The stat line tells the story: 9 interceptions in 5 games. That's not just bad, it's catastrophic. Smith's quarterback rating sits at a miserable 74.1, ranking near the bottom of the league. His EPA per dropback, a key measure of a quarterback's efficiency, is negative, which means he's literally hurting the team every time he throws the ball. The once promising reunion between Geno and Pete Carroll now feels like a desperate experiment that's gone completely off the rails. When you watch him, you don't see confidence. You see panic. You see hesitation. You see a man trying to make sense of an offense that's lost all identity. And then there's Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator who seems determined to prove that college football gimmicks can work in the NFL. Spoiler alert, they can't. His play calling is predictable. His red zone strategy is non-existent, and his refusal to lean on the run game borders on negligence. The Raiders went on a 10-play 9-minute drive last game only to settle for a field goal. It's football malpractice. The running game, led by Ashton Genty, showed flashes of dominance early on, but Kelly abandoned it at the first sign of trouble. Instead of playing to his strengths, he decided to reinvent the wheel, and it blew up in his face. This offense looks like it was designed by a committee of confused coaches who never agreed on what kind of team they wanted to be. But as bad as Kelly's been, the defensive side of the ball might be worse. Patrick Graham's defense is soft, disorganized, and seemingly allergic to adjustments. Opponents know exactly what's coming: a passive zone scheme that gives up easy completions and fails to apply pressure. Against the Colts, it was like watching a scrimmage. Linebackers were out of position, safeties were blowing coverages, and the defensive line looked exhausted before halftime. It's not just bad execution, it's bad philosophy. You can't win in today's NFL by sitting back and hoping the other team makes a mistake first. At this point, the question isn't whether Geno Smith should be benched. It's why he hasn't been already. He's on pace for 31 interceptions this season, a number we haven't seen since Jameis Winston's infamous 2019 campaign. That kind of turnover rate is inexcusable. The Raiders traded for Kenny Pickett for a reason, and it's time to see what he can do. No one's pretending Pickett is the long-term answer, but he at least deserves the opportunity to compete. Sometimes, you have to shake things up just to remind the locker room what accountability looks like. If Carroll wants to prove that his compete mantra actually means something, this is his moment. Bench Geno. Let Pickett take the reins. Show the team that no one's job is guaranteed. The sad truth is that the Raiders' season is already slipping away and everyone knows it. The record says 1-4, but it feels like 0-5 in spirit. There's no rhythm, no confidence, no belief. Special teams are falling apart. The offense can't sustain drives. The defense can't get off the field. Even the fundamentals are crumbling. Blocked punts, missed field goals, blown assignments. You name it, the Raiders are failing at it. And then there's Max Crosby, one of the few bright spots on the roster. After the game, when reporters asked him how he felt, he just said, "No comment." But his silence spoke volumes. Crosby's supposed to be the emotional leader of this team, yet even he looks beaten down. Tired of giving everything while the organization gives nothing back? What's happening in Las Vegas isn't just a losing streak, it's a collapse of culture. The coaching staff doesn't understand its players. Players don't trust their coaches, and the fans don't believe in either. You see it on every snap. Confusion, frustration, a lack of purpose. Pete Carroll stands on the sideline repeating the same lines: we're learning, we're growing. But after 5 weeks of getting embarrassed, what exactly are they learning? If the offseason was supposed to be about preparation, then it was a complete waste. This roster is thin, the schemes are outdated, and the leadership is fractured. What makes it even worse is the stubbornness. It's like the entire coaching staff is too proud to admit that their approach isn't working. They keep running the same plays, the same defensive looks, expecting different results. The definition of insanity. Every press conference feels like déjà vu. Excuses, promises, and no accountability. Raiders fans deserve better than this. They've endured decades of mediocrity, of false hope, and broken rebuilds. Of legendary names overshadowed by organizational dysfunction. And yet, week after week, they show up. They believe. They stay loyal. Because that's what Raider Nation does. They don't quit, even when the team seems to have. But maybe that's exactly what the Raiders need right now. That reminder of who they're supposed to be. A franchise built on grit, swagger, and identity. Right now, they have none of that. Until someone, whether it's Crosby, Pickett, or even Carroll himself, steps up and demands change, this will continue to spiral. The fans are tired of almost. They're tired of rebuilding. They want results. They want a team that fights, not folds. So yes, it's time to make the tough call. Bench Gino Smith. Give Kenny Pickett the shot he's been waiting for. Let this team rediscover some fight, even if the season itself is already lost. Sometimes you don't play for the playoffs, you play for pride. And right now, that's all the Raiders have left. But pride can be powerful. It can turn humiliation into hunger. It can turn a broken locker room into a family again. Maybe that's too optimistic. Or maybe, just maybe, that's how redemption starts. If you're still here, Raider Nation, drop your thoughts below. Should Geno be benched for Pickett? Is this season truly over? Or can this team still find a spark? Let's talk about it in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, because win or lose, we'll keep breaking it all down right here on NFL Playbook Raiders.